There we go. Hey, there's everybody. Eventually, usually have a cooler background, but I don't know why my background generator thingy's not working. And you probably can't hear a damn thing I'm saying, can you? There we go. Hopefully you can all hear me now. You go to that meeting, Midori Gale. You rock that meeting. Be like, I own this meeting. Is it Taco Tahila? Is that like Taco Tila? Like tequila? Hey, Ember posted. Yay. Sorry about blowing everybody's eardrums out. Seriously. What's wrong with you? Why do you hate me? Primary processor. I guess. Taliha. Taliha. That's pretty. I like that. Talia. Not like anybody's ever going to put their name in here and I'm going to be like, oh my god, that's the first name ever. Sorry if I froze up. My background generator has to run a hardware check because technology. So as soon as it's done, I don't know. As soon as it's done, I should unfreeze. YouTube. You as in the tree, you? Yous are wonderful trees. Oh yeah, we're going to talk runes today, so that should be fun. Are you done? Nope, that didn't fix the problem. Oh well. We're streaming from a cafe as opposed to having my cool rune background that I found. Boo. Ah well. Yeah, Talia is a pretty name. You guys can all hear me, correct? Can people hear me? That could explain why no one's responding. Can you hear me? Oh, okay, there we go. Papa, can you hear me? It's literally all I know of that song. I talking about watching Amber through reaction channels. I tried watching just her channel for a long time. Um and I did not realize how dry she was without somebody putting commentary to the. And I honestly started watching her through Zachary Michael, who I don't watch anymore, but I without Zachary Michael like making it fun to watch, it wasn't worth watching. I like this background. I like my cafe. Yeah, makes me feel like I'm in a. I like how warm it is. Oh, and sorry for the smarty glasses, but it's pretty much the only way I can deal with the light right now. So, do I need to specify anything else before we get started? My cats have been fed, so they now have a burst of energy. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see them, but you will hear them probably. Yeah, I used to watch Karina. I don't. Nothing against Karina, honestly. She's not my cup of tea. And when she would talk about Pokemon Go, I'm just not a. I used to play it, but I'm not like that into it. kind of like a casual, I'm walking anyway kind of a thing. So, but mainly I watch, well, Justine, I watch Kicking Geese and I watch Alex's Shook. Those are my go-tos. Baba Yaga's Chicken. Yep. There's no one in there. You don't need to cry at the door. Loud and clear. Okay, so before I'm gonna do the rune reading first, but I do want to do a retro react after, because the rune reading can be entertaining, but I don't think it's that entertaining. I don't think it's gonna take up a crap ton of time. Is my point. But so if there's one that you guys would like to see, let me know, because I'm planning on doing another long retro react like I did to the last time she went to a dietitian. I'm going to do one for the Abby Sharp thing where Abby Sharp reviewed Amber's diet and then Amber responded to Abby Sharp, and then there's a third one actually. Abby responded to Amber responding to her and did a review of Amber's diet at that point again. So I thought that would be kind of interesting to go through just because Abby's not familiar with Girl World and Amber altogether, though she does sort of address it in the second video. So I think that'll be an interesting thing to watch. I could be wrong. It could be a disaster. But I really am interested in like how easily Abby kind of fell for Amber's manipulations. I used to really like the Narc Alert. Only because I could like really relate with the Narc Alert's narc stories. This needs to go behind my head. There we go. So there's a lot of reactors I started watching and then I just kind of stopped, and a lot of it is just nothing personal. I just stopped watching so many reactors. And honestly, I watch Alex more for Foodie Beauty than I do for Amber. Because I cannot watch Foodie, but I can watch his little girl updates. So I watch Alex and Milk Tea Reacts just for Foodie Beauty content. And that is the only way I interact with her. So I've seen Just My Two Cents pop up a few times. I haven't watched anything by them yet. They just started getting recommended to me. Who is Yo Mama? I've seen a couple by Quirky Alert. I like the people that put, I don't watch any of them religiously, but I like the people that put the compilations together. And so every now and then I'll watch a compilation because I just need to watch a compilation sometimes. It is interesting to watch people do that because they'll put all of the different like stages of Amber together chronologically, and it's just kind of fascinating to watch the evolution, even though like nothing changes from point A to point B. It's just basically her weight just goes up. That's like the only thing that changes. And I haven't I think I've seen one video by Oh Lordy It's Jordy, and he's fun. So he goes over Foodie Beauty too. I'll have to check that out. He seems funny. Seems like a hoot. Hoot nanny. Time is it? I'll give it 3 more minutes and then we'll get started. Why are a compilation channel should be considered transformative, though, I would think. Baba Yaga's Chicken. Like, I would think they're more transformative than what I do. And what most of the reaction channels do, where we watch and then we just kind of talk. It's not like we add anything. Who's the one who's got the really good intro that I like? Crap. If somebody said their name, I would know. I actually started rewatching a bunch of Shivy Pop stuff because I finally remembered their name, and everybody told me them, and I was like, oh yeah, Shivy Pop. So, okay, Pusheen, I'm mildly, slightly, probably clinically obsessed with Pusheen. So I have all of the Pusheen day planners. I'm getting the calendar this year. I have a lot of Pusheen stuff. I have 3 of the Pusheen mugs in my to buy cart. Um, hey, it's Tequila and Donuts! Yay, CB Reezy. Who was here first? Not like there's a prize or anything, but oh yeah, that's right. Uh, Taco Tal. I'm gonna do this. Talia. Taco Talia was first, yes, and then Rocky's Wooby. Rocky, like Adrian Rocky, like the statue that everybody takes their picture out in front of, like the great Saint Rocky, great Philadelphian Saint Rocky. Mullane, Stevie Reezy, Haley B. Midori Gale was here, but I believe they left to go to a meeting that they're owning, I'm sure. I did my kitty chores before I sat down. We had to feed them, and then we had to, well, cat boxes and all that. Mars. The planet Mars has been. All right, so it was requested by members that I do by a member that I do a rune reading about where Amber is, like what's she doing. Well, she's posted now, so it kind of takes the mystery out of it. But did she actually? Why don't we just watch that? But I will do the rune reading still. Instead of doing a retro react, let's do a live react. Yeah, give me just a second. I'm going to try to not crash everything. Let's see. I want you to go to my channel. Yes? No? I fell in love with someone else. Trisha Paytas. Oh, God. What is with her in podcasts? Her titles are so clickbait, though. Pardon. 12 minutes? That's not bad. That'll only take me an hour and a half. Well, okay, North Korea. Yeah. Can you imagine? God, can you imagine Amber in either of the Koreas, let alone North Korea? Like, she'd open her mouth once and that'd be the end of it. Amber desperately wants to be on a podcast, though. Like, she was trying hard for H3H3, name dropping as hard as she could, and now Trisha. Those two. I don't know if I can do that podcast. I don't know if I can put up with that. My thing with her doing a podcast, first off, would be quality of the equipment, because I'm sure she thinks she can podcast with just like screaming into her cell phone. And I'm not saying you can't, I'm just saying it's probably not going to be great quality. And then Well, and yeah, and then like so like the new thing with podcasting. So I'm an old school podcaster. Like back when I podcast, back in my day, it was just audio. You didn't have any video attached to it, so you got to hide behind the mic. And now everybody wants to like watch you podcast, which defeats the purpose of a podcast, in my opinion. But if it's what the people want, you know. So my other point would be like, if she's trying to podcast through her phone as her mic, what is she going to be recording on because she hates her camera? And she already has crap lighting and I just don't see her getting the setup put together in a way that would make for a pleasing sounding podcast, which would kill me if I had to listen to it. And then on top of it, what the hell is she going to talk about? What it's like to be housebound? You know? Tequila and Donuts is here for it, though. They're like, no, I will pay for this podcast. That's funny. She probably doesn't realize how much editing goes into a podcast. Like I edit podcasts way more than I edit the videos. So, yeah, I mean, she probably thinks she just records it and then puts it up and never does anything, doesn't do anything with it again, but like probably an hour long podcast, an hour and 20 an hour long podcast will take me somewhere between 2 hours to 2.5 hours, depending on the audio quality and what I need to do to clean it up. Yeah, she probably is looking for somebody else to do the heavy lifting for her on the podcast. But she doesn't put any effort in editing her freaking videos. There's no way in hell she's going to edit the audio. I edit the audio of my videos. I pull the audio out of my videos on 90% of my videos and then run it through a cleaner, through Audacity basically, and then put it back into the video. So like I have to like resync everything. I'm not looking for like sympathy or anything. I'm just saying like that's the bare minimum in my opinion. And she can't even be bothered to do that. Though honestly her audio's not that bad through her phone, but it's not podcast quality. That was a good show. God, now I want to watch Rocky and Bullwinkle. Moose and Squirrel. Okay, so since Amber's posted, we could go watch the video and find out what she's going to tell us she's been up to. And then I could do a rune reading, or I can do a rune reading before we watch the video. That might be interesting, and see how much I actually get right. Assuming she admits to anything. So, let's see. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to watch the video first and then do the rune reading, and put a 2 if you want to do the rune reading first and then watch the new video. Squirrel! Two is rune reading first, 1 is video first. I should have just made a poll. Well, right now it's a tie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6. Squirrel and bacon are not options. Did everybody get a chance to vote? No, there we go. All right, so you guys want to watch it first and then do the reading? Okay. Because it's pulled ahead by 2 now. Put that down. That's a good point, Purbug. There's always more questions. All right, well, let's see. Let me switch. I'm going to switch this, and it's going to be messed up, so bear with me while I get it put back together. Or it might not be messed up at all. I don't know. Or it just completely dies. All right, cool. Whatever. It's fine. Where are you? Transform. Fit to screen. There I am, at least. Here I am. I'm a box. Alright, let's see. Need you. Need that. Application. What's this called? I fell in love with somebody else. Here we go. Yeah, I changed my background theme, but my background generator actually is on vacation, apparently. So we get the coffee background, sorry. It's not a bad background. It's it could be a spooky cafe. Spooky cafe. Let's see. You're joking about squirrels being on the Cheesecake Factory menu, right? This is a joke, I don't know. I'm sorry. Sorry, Tequila Donuts. I see a vlog and I want to paint it black. I wish I could remember this tune. Damn it. I'm usually better at that. Hello, visual snow. Alright, so this is... Everything should be fine. This is I fell in love with someone else. Trisha Paytas wants me on her podcast and I drank again. Dang. Then she'd have like a sip. All right, so if people are new, I am an anthropologist. By training, I am an archaeologist retired now. I did archaeology for 20 years, and those are my creds. I try to be pretty open about that. So everything is probably going to be my opinion. And that's pretty much it. Also, thank you to all of my subscribers, and thank you to all of my members. And don't forget to like the stream. I think I'm going to pull this out of the stream and make a video out of it too, so that's... I can always put a different intro on it. Alright. Has anybody seen this yet? Well, obviously not. She just posted it 43 minutes ago. Okay, cool. Sobriety chip. Dude, I was so tempted. So freaking tempted to mail her a sobriety chip. God. Spicy squirrel with plum sauce. No. Has anybody actually had squirrel? It's not that bad, but it's just very... I don't know. If you don't like gamey, bony meat, you won't like squirrel. Alright. So, alright, well, let's just jump in then, shall we? Actually, I want to check one thing. Or do I? I did set this up on the phone, didn't I? I kind of want to change the, well, not that. Let's take me to studio, dang it. Who can send messages? Anybody. Live react. Okay, I don't have slow mode on. Okay, cool. Well, then never mind. I don't want to change anything. Right, alright. Let's jump into this. I'm going to speed her up. We are going to listen at time and a quarter. No, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. Excuse me. So, all right. Let's go crazy.
Guys, welcome to a new video.
Hi.
So I'm currently just mid-makeup. You guys have not heard from me in forever, it feels like, because I swear to you, I don't know what life is anymore. So let me finish my eyebrows. I'll be right back. So if I disappear and I come back with my hair in a bun, it's a very strong indication that Amberlynn is going through depression. She's going...
When is Amberlynn not going through depression? She annoys me. It's just, whatever. Red Bull Amber. Goat's chewy. Yeah, I wouldn't go hunt down squirrel for food. Though, I did have raccoon one year. We made it up as a barbecue, and it wasn't terrible. I wouldn't turn it down if somebody else made it. Make her a little louder? Okay. No, okay. It's fun. Yeah, I turn it down when I do other reactions, but yeah, she does talk quiet. I say as I mumble into my microphone. All right, anyway. So Amber's depressed, but yet is still putting on her eyebrows. I'm not gonna lie, guys. When I do my eyebrows, I just take my mascara wand and just kind of, after I put my mascara on, I just kind of brush my mascara wand through my eyebrows because I'm lazy, and I think it looks okay.
Through a low. She's not okay. There's just a lot of like changes in my life and things that I don't know, just things that I'm going through. And no, this is not a bruise. It's exactly what you guys think it is. Whatever.
It's a trach scar? I know she wants us to know that she's got a hickey again, but... What? Why? Okay, so she's depressed and going through a low, but she's got a hickey. Are we to assume that it's from wifey? Or does she got a new boo or had a new boo for a hot minute who gave her the hickey and then left? Or something. Vacuum incident. Yeah, I'd like to see Amber not depressed. I'm not doubting that she doesn't have depression. It's just, have we ever seen her not depressed? Sorry, I'm putting my phone on mute. Okay, we're good. You think I would do that before the stream? You would be wrong.
Like, I always try to put foundation, and it never works. Ever.
It's because you have to use concealer, and then you have to powder it. And it still doesn't work that well, depending on how bad the bruise is.
I literally don't get it. Because this foundation is amazing. I use the Fit Me Dewy and Smooth for normal to dry skin. Pretty freaking great, not gonna lie.
I tried the Fit Me. I didn't actually like it. It sat on my skin real heavy. What am I using right now? It's Neutrogena, actually. It's the Neutrogena one. I really like it. Not only does it actually kind of match my skin tone, but it doesn't feel sticky on my skin and heavy on my skin, so. GAD depression. Dangling neck.
I'm literally just gonna wear mascara. I'm not even gonna wear eyeliner. I don't care enough. Okay, so makeup's been done. I've been just doing a little bit more packing.
I thought she said she wasn't doing eyeliner. Am I crazy? Maybe she just did like a light eyeshadow. I do that a lot. The eyeshadow eyeliner. I think like I know you all care. The pencil always makes my eyes look really small, and I haven't really mastered the liquid yet, but either way, I don't really like the way my eyes look with a real bold eyeliner on it. So what I usually do is just use one of the darker eyeshadows, and I just kind of like go over the top of my, well, you know where you put your eyeliner. I think that looks a lot better on my eyes for me, but I also have hooded eyes, so there's no point in me wearing eyeliner.
I just do a little bit every day, but today I actually have an appointment with the movers. They're actually gonna come and see all the stuff I have and give me like an actual quote. So that's super exciting. So I'm only gonna show them the things I'm taking with me. Right now I'm about to take some decor off the wall. So this is actually them the things I'm taking with me, an actual quote. So that's super exciting. So I'm only gonna show them the things I'm taking with me. Right now I'm about to take some decor off the
Wait, has she not talked to a mover yet? Also, do movers come out and give you a quote? I thought you just rented a truck and some time. I don't know. I've never. Yeah, every time I've moved real far, I've used the pod, and you load the pod and you unload the pod. So she packed for the day. I would wear this shirt. I do like this shirt, Rach. I like a lot of the clothes Amber wears. It just doesn't necessarily, like, she gets it in the wrong size for her, and so it doesn't look as good on her. They will come out and give you a quote. All right then. Oh yeah, there you go. Maybe the movers gave her the hickey.
The wall. So this is actually Feline's bathroom, but I had this decor up even before she moved in. It's just so cute. I love the aesthetic, and I'll definitely be keeping it. All right, you guys. So far this is everything that I have packed.
That doesn't look bad. That doesn't look bad. And this is the yeah, you can still see it. This is the hanger box, the closet box that you put your stuff in on the hangers, the magical hanger box. Those look interesting. I wonder what those are. All of the important documents and the plant. I like that the plant is in a box. I mean, I would do the same thing. I just think it's funny. This is all she's taking?
And put in the corner of the office that is going to be going with me. Wow. There's still a couple more things. I have some clothing, hygiene stuff, my jewelry, but this is pretty much it. And then I have some of my pictures over there, which I haven't taken the ones down from the living room yet, but yeah, this is pretty much every single thing I am taking besides my bed, my couch, typical stuff like that. All right, guys, so I just did my little thingy with the movers. So they're going to send me over like my official quote tomorrow. So no matter what the price is, which
she does this thing. Sorry. She does this thing when she's talking where she'll put her hair behind her hair behind her ear, and she'll kind of look down and she'll I don't even know if I'm doing it right. Let me look at myself. She'll like, and it's only for a brief second when she does it. And she does it a lot when she's telling stories. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it exactly, but it's a micro expression that she does a lot, but only in specific situations. I'm gonna have to start keeping an eye out for it.
I have a feeling I already know like around what it's gonna be. I did do a quote with them.
That's not her whole Lexi. That's not her whole wardrobe. Not unless she like vacuum sealed them into baggies first. No.
A month ago, but that was before they saw my stuff. So now that they've seen it, it's probably going to be a little less than what they originally said because I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff. So yeah, I officially have movers. It does make things feel a little more real, and it's kind of crazy, not gonna lie. Things are moving kind of quickly. I'm a huge procrastinator. I feel like I work better under pressure, and
thank you tequila and donuts
date is coming up very soon, so I feel like that's why I'm doing everything like so close to them. Because that's just the way that I am, the way that my body works. Like, I'll be sitting there all day, and my brain is like, get up, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that, and then you have to do this. Like, up here, hyperactive 24/7, but I physically can't get up. No haters, not because of my weight. It's because I feel like I can't do it. Like, I can't get up. Everything just feels so overwhelming to me, and it's like my brain never stops, ever. But, like, I can't put into action the things that I need to do, and it's very overwhelming, and it's hard.
I mean, if only someone were able to prescribe you something that could potentially, a pill or something that you could take every day that could help you regulate those thoughts and maybe even allow you to feel motivated enough to stand up and do the things that you are thinking of. If only there was somebody somewhere in this world that could help.
And especially, I would say the last like 2 weeks, that's very much what I've been experiencing, is knowing that like so many things need to be done and I'm just like not doing them as quickly as I should be. I don't know.
I don't know why she'd be fishing for the ADHD. I mean, I don't doubt that she has ADHD. I can't diagnose that, obviously, but like as many times as she's been diagnosed with a plethora of things, I'm surprised that ADHD didn't come out. When I went to go see my therapist, my prescribing therapist, I was in there for almost 3 hours, and I left with a list. I was impressed at the list. I was like, "Damn, dude." But he did diagnose me with ADD. Yeah, I'm not hyperactive. I just have the ADD. And I was like, I don't believe you that I have ADD. He goes, no, no, no. It's gifted ADD. And I'm like, oh, well, that makes it better then. And my best friend still gives me shit about it because I'm gifted, y'all.
It's a problem. So I'm currently eating Hawaiian food.
You are?
It's this Hawaiian barbecue place, and I got some coconut shrimp,
Coconut shrimp are good.
and it comes with this like macaroni salad, which is okay.
So far, I'm not seeing the Hawaiian here.
I've never been like a huge fan of macaroni salad, but I will say I do kind of enjoy it from here. And then it comes with this like sticky rice that has like the sauce on top. Honestly, it's so good. I'm getting pretty full, so I'm probably gonna take a few more bites and then I'm gonna be done. But it's pretty.
Girlfriend, I can eat all of that. There's no way in hell you're gonna make me believe that you've not eaten all of that. Okay, so the autism thing. I've heard a couple people now bring that one up. My partner's on the spectrum. So my partner's on the spectrum, and we used to actually hang out with a group in Indianapolis, which was an adult social group for adults with ADD on the spectrum, or not ADD, sorry, autism on the spectrum. And I'm not saying I'm an expert because I know it does express in various different ways, but even obviously everyone in this group was high functioning, and obviously my partner's high functioning, and that's like a whole other can of worms. But there's nothing Amber does that makes me think or even suspect that, again, not capable of diagnosing. I've just been exposed to it a lot. One of my better roommate that I lived with for several years actually was a woman who was diagnosed. So I kind of have an idea of what it looks like in women as well. Again, everybody's slightly different, but if she wanted to whip that one out, I would have an issue as much as I have an issue with her. But yeah, that's not that wouldn't be very nice of her to do, which means she's probably going to do it in about 6 months. Yeah, Hawaiian food. This is apparently what Hawaiian food looks like. I mean, I don't see any, what is it, poi? I don't see any of that. I don't see any nicely fried tubers. I don't see any fish. I mean, I guess coconut shrimp, but you know, just because it's got coconut on it doesn't make it Hawaiian. Yeah, I don't think Amber displays anything that looks like autism, but again, not a doctor. So I 100% believe she's got ADHD, and I don't not believe the bipolar, but I'm skeptical of it. But I mean, she's clearly depressed. That's not in it. That's obvious. Rach says when she does it, I'm gonna riot. Oh, Prez Hens. Hawaiian gets the fancy 7-Elevens. Damn it. I want one of those. I watch people eat at those all the time. Why do they get the nice stuff and I get the place where no one goes in the evenings because it's not safe to go there at night? Anyway. Susan. All right, anyway, back to this.
Tasty. I actually used to eat a lot of Hawaiian barbecue when I was in high school, and I haven't had it since. So it's kind of like, whoa, okay, this is unlocking some memories.
You lived in Florida when you were in high school. What were you doing eating Hawaiian? Okay, what is Hawaiian barbecue then? What is her definition of Hawaiian barbecue?
For me? Okay, guys, we're in my closet because I need to put away these clothes. It's a lot of clothes I gotta put away.
As always.
It's clothes I'm trying to figure out. Should I hang them? Should I pack them? It's just a...
You should just wad them. Wadding them up seems to work perfectly fine. There's no reason to take that extra step to make sure your clothes are wrinkle free. Just leave them like they are. Just get a trash bag, stuff the fuckers in there, throw it in the other room, call it a day. There's no reason. Actually, take your clothes, wrap your dishes in your clothes, box your clothes up with your dishes. That's honestly the best thing to do, in my opinion. But I mean, the lump there is fine as well, I guess.
A lot. You guys, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't drank since April 2022.
As you remind us constantly.
But I did drink last night. Yeah, I had 7 White Claws.
Seriously? First off, it's a White Claw. Secondly, you drank a case plus, or you drank a 6-pack plus 1 White Claws by yourself. Who drank the other 5 then? Ugh. She does have a lot of mugs. Aw, thank you. It's a dress. It's my... You guys, I want to see if I can do this without, like, flashing everyone, so this might be interesting. It's spooky season, so, like, I have a... There we go. It's like a spooky print. It's got skulls and cats and pumpkins. Does it have pumpkins? Yes. Pumpkins and rando maple leaves. It is spooky season, gosh darn it, and I'm wearing my spooky season dresses. Alright. I am a non-drinker. Therefore, my concept of how much alcohol is too much alcohol is very skewed. So, how many of y'all can put down 7 whatever White Claws are? Are they wine coolers? 7 of them in a row. In an evening. My boyfriend, my partner, who has always drank, doesn't do more than 3 beers in a night. And he's a tall guy. I'm just saying, he's a big boy. But... so much liquid. I thank you everybody on the comment on the dress. I appreciate it. Baba Yaga's chicken. Yes, I assume people who have binge eating disorder, it's just another form of addiction. So it would not be a stretch to say that they do other things in excess as well. Ooh, did she record herself drinking? That would be fabulous. Because every time we've ever seen her drink, she drinks like that high school chick who like has a sip of a wine cooler and then she's like, oh my god, I'm so drunk, you guys. I know that White Claws are not like... They're not like hard liquor. I know that. Visual snow. If she hasn't shown off her drinking, has she even drinking? She's telling us she drank, okay? That's good enough. I guess that is kind of a low alcohol content. I just had a twisted lemonade, honestly. I just had a twisted lemonade with dinner because of a miscommunication and bad English, but that was a whole other story. And it was 5% alcohol. But I literally had like 3 sips of it. I made my partner drink the rest. 7 White Claws.
Which, for me, gets me a little drunk. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Hang on.
Yeah, I had 7 White Claws, which, for me, gets me a little drunk. I'm not...
Okay, who other than like a professional drinker would 7 alcoholic drinks that have to be at least like 12 ounces, I would think. How many people wouldn't be drunk after 7 White Claws in a row? That, I mean, I know I'm not a drinker, but to me that just seems like a lot. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Hi. Because I have to work.
Not gonna lie, I have very low alcohol intolerance. It's a situation. I've always been like that.
And you drank 7 freaking alcoholic drinks with your low alcohol tolerance. I think she's lying. And I'm not even going off of her body language. I just think she's lying. Yeah, where's her hangover? Maybe that's why she didn't feel good the next day.
I don't know. I kind of just wanted to let loose a little bit in my home. Nothing wrong with that. But I actually wanted to come on here. What I really wanted to say is y'all are coming through on my Instagram, sending me screenshots of Trisha Paytas saying that she wants me on her podcast. What? If you guys...
That was the segue. We go from, y'all, I drank 7 White Claws last night without a hangover the next day. And then we segue to Trisha Paytas wants me on her podcast. If I were Amber, I wouldn't trust anybody who would want me on their podcast because I wouldn't trust them to not try to humiliate me. And Trisha, nothing against Trisha, really. Why would Trisha want Amber on her podcast is my question. Like, that would be my first question.
Know me, I have always been kind of obsessed with Trisha Paytas. And then when the frenemies happened, very obsessed. But then there was a few things that made me not like her so much. But then as you guys have heard, like in recent videos and like live streams, I've been saying, I get her. I get it. Mental illness. And she has changed a lot. And I don't know, just like in a recent live stream, I was like, I would love to be on her podcast. And then she literally said that she would love to have me. I don't know why, but that just makes me so happy. Like, I have been asked so many times, hundreds, to do interviews with people, whether it be for like magazines or podcasts or videos or...
Sure, Jan.
Whatever it may be. Especially, I would say, in like the last 6 years. And I've always said no. Trisha Paytas might be the very person that I would actually say yes to. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure, Jan. I don't doubt that Trisha Paytas might want her on her podcast because I don't know Trisha, so... I don't know, that might be Trisha's thing, but like, that would be, the fact that anybody wants me on their show would be a big red flag. Watch, she's probably going to tell us here in a bit that, oh yeah, H3H3 totally reached out to me to be on their podcast, but I turned them down because XYZ. Thousands and thousands. Susan's thinking the same thing I am. Okay. All right. That's a lot. There's a lot going on here. What are we looking at? We are looking at lots of earrings. There we go. Lots of earrings. Couple different lipsticks. Why does she even buy lipsticks? She only wears the same color every time. Something airspray? Room spray? That's that dry shampoo she bought. Hair barrettes. I'm trying to think if I've seen her wear most of this. I know we've seen these little pink hoops. If it's a hoop, we've probably seen it. This is her the one and only style of choker she wears because it stretches. This might be a choker.
Okay, I know it's looking a mess, but right now I'm just going through my jewelry officially, trying to decide what I want to take, what I want to get rid of. And so far in this bag, we have some like puffy earrings, a whole container of like backs for my earrings, chokers, stuff like that. Here we have tons of hoops. Tons of hoops. I'm definitely a hoop girly. And I haven't gone through any of these yet, so here's some hair clips. I'm not going to keep any hair clips, so things I'm getting rid of, I'm just throwing away.
Sorry guys, give me just a second. My neighbors, I have a group text with my neighbors because I live in an apartment building, and somebody's saying something about smelling smoke. So let me make sure the building's not on fire. Never mind, we're smelling fish in the water, apparently. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I thought that was important. I have learned my lesson.
Do you guys think I should keep these earrings? They're crazy. I've never worn them before.
I do actually like those. I don't know if I'd wear them because I'm not a big dangly earring fan, but I kind of like the look of them.
But they're definitely a statement. Baby girl, I love these earrings. I personally, random fact about me, that is my favorite pet name to be called while in a relationship. Yes, it is.
Great.
Oh my god, I have like necklaces that are all like tangled and stuff. Jeez Louise.
My favorite pet name is my name.
So I'm just needing to figure out like how do I pack my necklaces without getting them all tangled. All of like the really expensive jewelry that Feline has gotten me, I'm not gonna get rid of. I'm actually keeping it. And that
because it's from Gucci, and we know how you feel about name brands. Like, I bet if it had been a no-name piece of jewelry, that she probably would have gotten rid of it because memories, y'all. But the fact that it's a Gucci necklace, because I remember when she got it, she was like super excited about it. Come here. Come here. Fine, sit over there. There's nobody in there. Grown ass. Can you imagine your partner calling you, "Hey, grown ass woman, come over here"? I can just. Yeah, I wouldn't trust Trisha. I wouldn't trust anybody, honestly, to have me on their podcast if I were Amber. I would be the third reactor whose fire alarm went off during a stream. God. Oh man, I hope not. Our fire alarm is, jeez Louise. You can hear that thing in space. Every time it goes off, all three of my cats decide to hide, and they all three go in three different directions. And I'm just like, if this was a real fire, y'all be dead because I can't find you. But that's just what cats do, you know. You can't train them to not do that.
a Gucci box. There's earrings and just, I don't know, there's a few necklaces actually that she has gotten me.
Well, she does like her hoops.
Definitely gonna keep that stuff because I do like it. I don't know.
I like the snake earrings.
Snake earrings, which I will definitely be keeping. So it is the next day.
Very Taylor Swift.
I didn't end this video.
I like those. Those are cute, actually.
I was looking at the Q&A questions, and you guys are.
I was looking at her community post where she's like, "Hey, everybody, go over to Instagram and send me questions or something." And the first comment that I saw was somebody saying, "How many more questions can we even ask you, girl, that we don't know everything about you already? Besides, what happened to all of those questions on the popsicle sticks? Because we never finished the popsicle sticks."
Like harsh, but I'll answer some that like, I don't know, is good questions to answer. Before I do, I just want to say that you guys will see me in this outfit in my next vlog because I am going to start a new vlog after this video. I might fix my hair, might touch up my makeup because literally all day today I've just been on the
She did put her eyeliner on. After telling us she wasn't going to put her eyeliner on, she put her eyeliner on anyway.
on the go. And I think we might actually go out tonight, so I do want to touch myself up a little bit because I'm looking a little reckless. There have been quite a few people asking like, how can you move on from Feline when you were so deeply in love with her? And honestly, I don't know how it happened, but I did fall in love with someone else. Feline is very aware. It has been really hard for her, and I don't really want to like share stuff.
Ooh, new boo. New boo. Or was she like madly in love with the girl that she broke up with right after the live stream?
About the situation that's like personal from her end, but it it just happened. It wasn't meant to happen. I am still actively in love with this person. I am not with them though. Again, that's just more like personal things, but I do love them.
This is the old new boo. Can Amber not be in a relationship with someone and not, wait, how to phrase this? Can Amber be in a relationship with someone and not be obsessively in love with them? Or even just like, you know, you can be in a relationship. Usually it's the early parts of relationships. You're not in love. You like each other. And you that's kind of the point. You're hanging out because you like each other or you're like physically attracted to each other, which is also a valid reason, but like you're not in love. Can Amber not be in a relationship that isn't insta love? And how draining must that be? And what if you're a person who was expecting just kind of a, hey, I like you, you like me, let's hang out kind of a thing. And she just starts immediately popping off with, I'm in love with you. Like, that would be the biggest red flag on the planet, unless you're also one of those people, I guess. She is in love with the idea of being in love, Alexia. Yes, I think that's. And that's probably why her relationships never work out, is because she's got this idea of what the perfect love is, this unobtainable idea of love, and of course nothing lives up to it, so her relationships never function right. Excuse me. I had Ethiopian food for dinner, and I like it, and it doesn't like me apparently. Visual Snow says love equals security for her. Yeah, but I don't know. It's okay. I'm not trying to insult anybody because this might come off that way, but it's a sign of immaturity to me that she can't be in a relationship with someone, especially early in a relationship with someone, and not be madly, hopelessly in love with them. Like, she's enjoying the fact that she has to pine for this person. And so, and that's the other thing, like, okay, so now you're in love with the girl who broke up with you after the live stream. Are you not still in love with Feline, who you said, you know, I'm in love with Feline and I will always love Feline? Are we no longer in love with Feline? And how many of us think Feline doesn't actually give a shit? It's love at first DM. It is, though. Yeah, Prez Hens, she never practiced the in like phase. Dude, this Ethiopian place we went to, I was a little worried. It was kind of sketch. We went in. I don't think that place has been cleaned in like 10 years. And, but the food was amazing. So, definitely be going back with more hand sanitizer because the food was absolutely worth it. This is all part of her new caretaker game? What are you thinking, Visual Snow? I don't think Feline gives a shit. I really don't. Like, how could she? Like, how could she? How? Not like, how could she? I'm just like, how could, like, a logical, adult-ish, mature woman still give a shit when your ex is playing childish games all the time? But, you know, she still put a hickey on her neck, so.
They're truly, honestly, one of the most amazing people that I've ever known. It's just like hard to talk about it right now, so I'm not really going to, but feelings happen. I don't know how it happened. It literally just happened. And normally that's how falling in love happens. Next.
All right, I'm going to be kind of cold here. I have never accidentally fallen in love with someone instantaneously. I don't think I've ever accidentally fallen in love with anybody. Like, every one of my relationships, of which I've had many, have all started off with the, hey, you're interesting, let's hang out, and then developed into, well, obviously there's a physical attraction, clearly, but, and then they develop beyond that point to like, hey, we've been hanging out for 6 months and I don't feel the need to bury your body in the backyard with the rest of the losers. Would you like to be my boyfriend and or girlfriend? And it's, but I mean, and then it develops from there. I don't think I've ever told anybody I love them before a year of dating them. So, but that's me. I can't imagine. Well, they weren't even talking for like a month. And she's in love with this girl to the point where she's over Feline 100% now because she's madly in love with this person who she can't be with because reasons. It's like a Korean drama.
Thing you know, you're like, oh, hot damn, I'm in love with this person. And so I'm actively in love with two people at once. I've never been the one. I've never been the one to experience that before. So it's different. I will say that. It's been really hard. It's been very hard. There's a lot of things behind the scenes, and it's just been a very interesting experience. I will say that, but maybe one day I can share a little bit more. I just don't really feel comfortable right now. And then
now we'll wait for the next live stream where you drink and then you start telling us
another question
everything.
I saw, someone was asking, like, you know, through packing and getting rid of so many things, like, do you notice like that you are a hoarder? Do you notice you do have a shopping problem? Like, you have too much stuff? Is that going to change the way that you handle things in the future? I've always known that I have a shopping problem, which honestly, it was really, really bad.
Tequila and donuts. I love you, who dis?
A few years ago, nowhere near right now. Like, I don't even shop for myself anymore, let's be real. But with all the like small collections of things that I did have, like candles, wax melts, like things like that, it's definitely eye-opening. Like, bro, you don't need that much. And it's definitely changing the way that I view things, because I'm not going to be sitting here and like buying a bunch of stuff for my new apartment. I'm just not. Like, you guys might see me buy like a couple like decor pieces or whatever, but that's like different. I don't even feel the like need or urge or anything like that to collect anything, where in the past, like, I just wanted an abundance of like one thing that I liked a lot. Like, earrings was a really good example of that. There was a phase where I was like super addicted to lipsticks. I don't know. And I know it has a lot to do with like trauma and like I didn't have money or I didn't have things when I was younger.
Somebody's been listening to the reaction channels.
At all. I know people with ADHD also suffer with fixations. And as you guys know, I am a possible ADHD person, because like I have been told by...
I am a possible ADHD person. She is working for that ADHD diagnosis.
Therapist. I still haven't gotten assessed. It's like a whole thing. I'm probably going to do that once I move.
All right, I will say this about the diagnosis thing. The doctor that diagnosed me with my stuff was the same doctor that prescribed my medications that I'm on. I'm on Wellbutrin, and I don't know, I can never remember the name of the anxiety med I'm on. So he is the one that diagnosed me with my stuff. And I see him once every 3 months, just kind of a check-in. I don't think I spend more than 45 minutes in his office, because there's... Basically, I just go in there to make sure that like medicines are still working and everything. And we just have a quick chat and then we're done. My therapist that I see monthly to 3 times, or every month or every 3 weeks, it varies. She has flat out told me she doesn't like to diagnose, so she won't diagnose me with anything, but I have given her the list of things that my prescribing doctor has said. So she has his list of stuff. But we've never discussed any of it, because I just don't think that's how she works, which is fine, because I'm okay with not doing that. That's just how I work. Excuse me while I adjust. I don't know. I feel like it's interesting to see the list of things that he came up with, but I feel like if I start dwelling on that list, then I won't actually do anything to deal with what the actual... Because it doesn't... Just because it has a name doesn't mean it's gone away. Like, the problem's still there. You know, that kind of a thing. And I feel like if I have a name for it, I might fall back on that, as opposed to actually trying to fix it or deal with it, you know? But that's a me thing. Some people enjoy having that. Like, it gives them closure, and they need that, and that's fine. So, but I was getting ready to say, she's gone to at least one therapist, if not 2. And supposedly she saw one of them 12 times in a row. And the guy never once said, hey, I think you have ADHD. So... Oh, ADHD has fixations. Yeah. Yeah, they can be pretty fixated on things. But yeah, it's also an autism thing, so know that one too. Devaluation of... I'm reading Prez Hen's evaluation of relationships post New Girl. It's her prioritization of self and need that reinforces her lack of progress. Huh. Yeah, some people need that diagnosis. I'm not knocking people that do. I'm just saying for me, I just felt like, well, it was a long list too, and I was just like, there's a lot here. So maybe it was just a little overwhelming. I don't know, calligraphy fairy. Maybe if she really did have it, it could be debilitating for her only in that she can't focus long enough to actually do anything, and so she just constantly does nothing. But there's that. Maybe he was not allowed to diagnose. Yeah, I know some of them are not supposed to do that. Like the BetterHelp people are not supposed to diagnose, which is a whole other topic, but
And as you guys know, like I was diagnosed with bipolar years ago, and even medicated, I would still go through manic episodes. And when that would happen, I would spend a lot of money.
then you need to have your meds adjusted.
I like a lot. Things I didn't need, things I would never need. And it's like I was medicated on Lamictal and I kept increasing my dose. And like the mania did lessen, but it was still there. You know, medicine can't fix everything. But yeah, every time I've spent a lot of money or I've had a large collection of something, it's because it was mental. So like when people make fun of me about it, it's like really sad because it's just like there's not enough awareness.
Great. So now we can't criticize her large collections of garbage because that's coming for her mental coming after her mentals. I don't think Amber understands that there are other people on the planet who have the same issues that she has or has issues that are very similar to what she has. And that, she's always like, oh, you can't criticize me because you don't know what it's like. And it's like, yeah, but what about all of these people that do know what it's like and they are criticizing you because they know what it's like? And are their opinions somehow invalid because special Amber? Like, that's the thing. Like, Amber wants to be in this little box all by herself where she's super special little Amber girl. And she keeps throwing out all of these disorders and these diagnoses that I'm half believing are real. And then people who actually have these issues, who are actually like with the addictions things, blah, 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 my addiction to XYZ. And then people who have actually recovered from addictions come forward and they're like, yeah, but you don't seem like someone who's actually recovering or, that kind of crap. And she doesn't acknowledge that. It's like no one else on the planet has ever been diagnosed with ADHD, and no one else on the planet has ever had chronic depression, and no one else has ever had PTSD. It's just Amber. And so everything that Amber goes through is the only way to experience those problems. And it's like, what happens when those of us who also have these issues come forward and we say, hey, put on your big girl panties. What's your objection to our objections then? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Visual Snow, you're assuming she knows what the symptoms are. Because that's the other problem. The problem is with her diagnoses is I don't. Look, I know people like to come after her because they're like, oh, she went to one doctor's appointment once and she came out with a laundry list of diagnoses. That happens. That happened to me. We spent 3 hours in a room together and I had like a list. Okay. And we've never refined the list. He occasionally goes back over it and asks me questions, and then he like ticks little boxes, and then he's like, "Okay, well, see you in 3 months." I'm just like, "Wait, I went to see what the boxes were." Anyway, so you can get quite a few diagnoses in one setting. I think certain ones require more testing or just more observation, I would think, but the other side of this is I don't really believe she's ever gone to doctors, to therapists and psychiatrists, psychologists like that. I don't think I'm starting to believe that she's never been diagnosed. And that's a personal thing for me. like the bipolar thing, she must have been diagnosed because she was getting a prescription for something that was, as I understand, I'm not bipolar, was a fairly heavy duty drug. And she's been on something else prior or after that as well, because I remember her talking about it. I feel like it started with like an O or something, not Ozempic. And so she's had to have been diagnosed with something at some point in order to get the prescriptions. But all this other stuff, I don't know. I don't know if I believe that she's ever actually been diagnosed. And the ADHD thing, she's just assuming she has it. She's never bothered to even ask about, maybe do you think I have this? Like, anytime I think there's something wrong with me, I ask my doctors about it. Not my doctor, my mental doctors, because I'm just like, I think I might be XYZ. What do you think? And then they either walk me through it or they agree to disagree. Anyway, I'm the more I watch her, the less I believe the shit that comes out of her mouth.
Around topics like this, I feel like. And even if there is a lot of awareness, there's just not enough like understanding and sympathy and things like that. But all of this is definitely up here, and it's not so much like a personality thing. It's not just like, oh, I want a ton of stuff because that's just like so fun and quirky. No, it's just because like
You literally just bought a bunch of stuff because you thought it was fun and quirky. Because I recall on more than one occasion, you literally playing up the quirky card with the crap you've collected, especially when it came to like those micro brands and like some other teeny tiny plastic garbage thing she was collecting there for a minute.
if I ever went through a phase where I was buying a ton of stuff, it's like I felt like I couldn't control it, and it's like I had to have it. Anyways, those were like 2 questions that I felt like answering. So I'm gonna start a new vlog. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hey guys.
Bye. That wasn't too bad. It was only an hour. 12 minutes in an hour. That was fine. Let's see. Let me get caught up. Rocky's Wookie. Yeah, when you finally go see somebody who's like capable of diagnosing you, like you're not there for 20 minutes. You're there for a while and then you leave with your little laundry list. Most people. Maybe there's people who go in and they're like, hey, I think there's something wrong with me. And they sit there for 3 hours and they talk with this person and they talk to the diagnoser person and they're just like, you know what? You're fine. Go home. I mean, surely there's somebody out there who's normal. I don't know who that is, but that person has to exist. Let's see. I don't know, Calligraphy Fairy. If I had told my doctor that I wanted meds for ADHD, though to be fair, Wellbutrin's used for a lot of things. I think he would have at least challenged that first before prescribing me. But Amber can be very charismatic when she wants to be. So, you know, I say that, but then it is possible that she just knows how to charm people if she wants something. But why would she? We know she doesn't like taking meds. So why would she work hard to get a prescription? And we know she was taking them for a couple vlogs because she mentioned them. And at one point she was blaming her poor behavior towards Becky on the fact that she hadn't had her prescription in a while. She always had an excuse for it, but you know, that's classic abuse behavior. So she just boggles my mind. Like, and that's the other thing that people don't, if you've never been on a prescription, which it sounds like most people in here probably have been, but like it can take up to 6 months, if not longer, depending on what they put you on to adjust to that crap. When I first started taking, what was it? Prozac? Yeah. When they first had me on Prozac back when I lived in Virginia. No, it doesn't matter. I started off on Prozac and first it took me about 3 months to get used to it. And I was on a very low dose. And then, after that, I realized that one was making me very, lethargic and I wasn't depressed. I just didn't care about anything. Like nothing bothered me, but I didn't care about anything either. I didn't care if I got up in the morning. I didn't care if I took a shower. I didn't care if I ate. I didn't care. And I told my doctor that. I'm like, I don't think this is for me. And so that's when they put me on the Wellbutrin. And the Wellbutrin took me 6 months to adjust to it. And again, I was on the low dose. So every time he adjusted my dose about a year ago, and that took me like a couple months to get used to the higher dose. So that's my thing. She's never stayed on her medications long enough to get used to the dose, to get used to the medication. So how would you even know if it's working or not? Anyway, I'm rambling. Visual snow, yeah. Her life is so devoid of stimulation, she could just be desperate for dopamine. She has to be bored. Like, I think a lot of her problems is she's just bored. My piece of paper said beyond help. Yeah, it's kind of how I felt too. I know that Amber wants to be special. We all want to be special on some level. Like, there's very few people on the planet who walk around not wanting to be special, at least to somebody. You know, like you want to be special to your significant other. You know, you want your parents to think you're special. You want the people that you want to impress to be impressed by you, which makes you special. Like, I get that part. It's just the way she goes about it. It's very high school. And we say this every time we watch Amber. Like, she's clearly stuck in high school. She's stuck in that mentality. She's stuck in that socializing ability, which is going to make life so difficult for her the older she gets. Because right now she's so isolated. Assuming that she ever does get to a point where she can start going out again, how is she even going to meet people? You know, I don't even meet people right now. And I'm a mostly functional adult, you know? I live in one of the larger cities on this side of the country. There's always something happening I could go do, and I don't do any of it, you know? Yeah. They recommended Adderall to my partner, and I think he took it once. And that was the end of that. Adderall can be very good for people. It was not a good choice for him. But I do know people who are on it who love it. And it has helped them immensely. But and that's what I'm talking about. Like, what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another person. So that's why you've got to work with your doctors. Like, yeah, she was on whatever the hell she was on, and it wasn't working for her. So talk to your doctor. There's other medications, or there's combos of medications that you could be doing. I mean, let's all think back to when Amber insisted on filming Becky. Well, Becky was trying to get her meds sorted out. Wasn't she on like 5 different medications at one time? And that's why she was a freaking zombie? Like, that was way too many medications in my opinion, but that's kind of the process you kind of have to go through, you know? The wrong shoes. I think she gets diagnosed by Dr. Google. And yes, she does use it as a shield because she just did. You know? Don't make fun of my collections of garbage because, you know, that's my mentals. That's not me wanting to be quirky. That's my mentals. Stevie Reezy. They believe they are special and everyone else is wrong. It is not me that is wrong, it is the children. It is hard to meet people, especially the older you get. Like, once you're out of college, if you haven't met people while you're in college, you're screwed. You're going to make work friends and that's it. So make sure you like your job because that's where your friends are going to come from. And they're not even going to be like good friends. They're going to be good friends at work, but they're not like the friend that you're going to call when your appendix bursts at 3 a.m. Yeah, calligraphy fairy. A lot of people misconstrue, sure, the socializing they do online with like real life socializing. Like, I like all of you, I really do, but I'm having a good time reading the discussions. I like reading comments. I feel like I'm having a conversation. It's very fulfilling in the moment. But like, y'all gonna come have a beer with me, you know? That's like, we gonna go out to the pizzeria and get a slice. It's just one of those things. Like, you gonna hang out with me at 4 in the morning while we're binge watching something stupid on Netflix? It's just that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, visual snow. No, she I'm not saying Amber did a good job with Becky whatsoever. I am not defending Amber's treatment of Becky in any way, shape, or form. I mean, you'd have to be freaking blind or delusional to not have noticed that was an incredibly abusive relationship. All right. I promised you guys a rune reading. I kind of know how I'm going to do this too, so let's see. Switch over. Where's my mouse? There it is. Move that there. Let's come here to adjust camera for right now. All right. Do you all have... As long as you're not creepy. Oh, I'm creepy. This is why I have no friends. What questions... Let's do this. Let's throw up some questions, and then we'll vote on a question or two to go over. So I can still do the what has Amber been up to, because really we don't know. And I am curious about, well, we're pretty sure that new ex boo is, or ex new boo is the person we are now madly in love with, even though we've never even met. Today we're going to go over the rune Fihu. Hey, are the cats alive?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still... My partner came back. Oh, wait, come here. No, I need you to stick your hand in the camera. I need you to stick your hand in the camera. Trust me, it'll make sense later. Not to you, but to everyone else.
I didn't wash my hands after we had.
He's got to make sure his hands are clean before he sticks them in the camera. Just stick your hand like right in front of my face. There you go. Now wave. Okay, thank you.
There we go.
Sorry, it was funny to me. The hand is all the evidence we need. Told you it was real. How will she transport herself to the destination? Yeah, I don't know. Somebody said medical transport. Who was that said that? I was like, man, I wasn't thinking about that. All the episodes of 600-Pound Life that I've been watching, I didn't even think of that. He is real. Yes, he is real. He puts up with me. I don't know why. Are we still smelling fish in the water? Yes, yes, we are. He is dreamy, Susan. He's nice and tall. Nice redhead. Very tall. People think he's Irish. He's not. Shaun of Steel is amazing. I don't know if the runes can pin down exactly how she's going to get there, like planes, trains, automobiles kind of a thing. Hey, Midori Gale. You made it back in time for the... I love redheads too. Okay. Probably TMI, but if I ever find a redheaded Asian guy, I'm nailing that one down. That's just like done. But anyway, he is tall. He's tall enough that he puts stuff on the top shelf in the back and then wonders why I can't see it. But he always gets it down for me too, so. Right shoes. Oh, I forgot about Bleach. Yeah. I read that one. I didn't watch it. The redheaded Jean is actually fairly recessive. Could you ask about her relationship with her mom? I can do that. Yes. That should be something I can get around to. I can get out of it. See, that's the funny thing about, like, Shelley Daly says Amber won't do medical transport because she'd have to admit she was disabled. Amber likes to throw that around when it's to her advantage, but yeah, when the reality of that sets in, she's not going to be happy about it. Scotland. Do my shitty Scottish accent. He won't grow a beard. He's a beardless redhead. He does have mutton chops, though, and they are very red. I keep describing him like someday maybe someday I might have a picture of him petting the cat with a ball cap on. He's got really broad shoulders. All right, so far I've got asking her where to go. Dang it. Asking about her relationship with her mom, and I can try to do the transport thing, but it's not gonna like nail down, like it's not gonna write out a sentence like, you know, she's going to call you know, wifey is going to put her in the back of a van and drive her all the way down to wherever the hell she's going. Some guys don't look good with beards. That is true. Did he not eat? Punk. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if Feline doesn't just buy her a bus ticket and kiss her ass goodbye. I honestly thought since she was gone, she was gone for almost a week. I honestly thought she was actually moving right now. I was kind of hoping that's what she was doing. Self-conscious. After watching Jordan Underwood get the decompression therapy on their legs. Now, granted, their legs are still very large because Jordan is probably close to 500 pounds. I don't know exactly. I know they're over 4. But anyway, my point is their legs are large in general. But with the decompression therapy, there is a noticeable difference, especially in the lower leg, because that's what they've had the most therapy on so far. There is a noticeable difference in their lower leg, and their upper leg is starting to like shape up, I guess is the best way to describe it. Like their leg actually looks like a leg and not just like a tube. So I don't know if it feels better, but it certainly looks better. And I'm saying that because I'm like, I'm pretty sure, at least on the one leg that Amber has, every picture I've ever seen online of, what is that, lymphedema, it clearly is that to me, the untrained person. So I'm just wondering if she actually did that kind of therapy, A, she'd be able to bend her knee, and B, like, her leg would look like a leg again. And that might actually help with like some of her self-image, but I don't know. That's just me thinking out loud. Will she be living alone? I can toss that one in there too. Um, Jordan didn't delete their channel, so I'm not entirely sure if they just took their videos. I don't know if they deleted the videos or just privated all of them. Because if you private a video, it will say that there's nothing on your channel, obviously. I don't know exactly what Jordan did. I know Jordan... Okay, what I think happened with Jordan. I think Jordan got called out by that one commenter who was basically saying exactly what Jordan had said in their videos. And Jordan panicked because Jordan has changed their story before that. I have done a reaction to that. I just haven't edited it yet. But Jordan's changed their story twice now since they posted those lump leg episodes. So Jordan has 3 different versions of their origin story floating around out there. So I think that's what happened is Jordan got a little freaked out that people were actually paying attention and pulled the videos down. Also, I don't think Jordan enjoyed getting any kind of feedback on it whatsoever because Jordan doesn't like criticism. Why they're on TikTok, I have no idea, but Jordan doesn't like criticism. So I think that's more what happened. And that's also why I don't think we're going to see any more YouTube episodes because Jordan just can't handle the scrutiny, basically. But they're still posting TikToks, so I'm still going to keep an eye on their TikToks. Hire a flatbed. She's moving October 7th. Let's see. Trying to. I'm not that behind, but. She doesn't do anything about her lipedema because I don't think she. A, I don't think she really understands what she has. And B, it's effort. If what Jordan has been going through is typical, Jordan's legs have to be wrapped in compression garments for 23 hours out of the day. And they get 1 hour out of it. And in that hour, they have to be in the pool, basically doing exercise to get the fluids to kind of flow through their leg. Can you honestly see Amber wrapping her leg every day and then wearing those wrappings for basically the entire day and then has to go to a pool? Amber's not getting into a pool. Not with there's people around. That's the only thing Jordan has over Amber is Jordan does not give a shit what people think of what they look like. All right. Let's do Amber's relationship with her mom and what the living situation is going to look like. I know a lot of people are speculating that she's either moving close to or in with her mom. I don't know. All right, let me do this. I'm going to cast them. Then I'm going to take a picture like I did last time. And then I'm going to pull the picture up. But that'll take me... It'll be a little awkward for a minute. And then we'll get into the translation show. What was my point? What point did I make, Calligraphy Fairy? Anyway, all right. Somebody was asking how I do this. I have a plate, and then I have my runes, and I just shake the crap out of them while I'm thinking about my question. It's kind of like shuffling. Let's see. Where are we moving? No, that's not what we're asking. What's the new living situation looking like, and how is the relationship with mom affecting that? Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good way of putting it. Okay, so we got relationships, we got living conditions. Off. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see that. Woo! It's like holding up a pizza. Pizza. I just don't want you guys to think I moved things around. Not cheating or anything. Stay. This is very high tech. Hang on. Since I chose to use polished obsidian, yes, the light reflects and you can't see them sometimes. Okay. So just going over what I'm seeing here before I put the picture up. She gets urus almost every single time I do these. She's got a lot of stuff clustered. Let's see, that's... That is interesting. Upload this damn picture. Do I have a pointy thingy? Yes. Yes, I do. I don't know how well you can see them here, but I'll pull the picture up in a second. There's Thurizaz here with Osla. This is a rune of home, and this is a rune of sharp pain. Laying down amongst thorns, grasping at thorns, getting hurt by thorns, but also like thorns that burn the blood. So it's like a a lingering pain, very much like the elk sedge, kind of the same kind of concept. Um, yeah. And that's directly associated with the concept of home and tradition, and not necessarily family, but like tradition more than anything. All right. Sometimes I have to convince my phone that I want it to upload something. Upload that. So, and then it's got Tiwaz pointing away from it. Let's see here if you can. This little doodad here, it's pointing away. This is usually a guidance, like divine guidance, because it's talking about the North Star, like using the North Star as like a guidance, a way to follow a path so you don't get lost. But it's pointing away from all of this, and it's pointing to the dead center. Now remember, the center is, the closer to the center we are, that's Amber, and the further away we are, that's the rest of the world. So it's pointing directly towards that. It almost feels like she's rushing towards a very painful situation, but like she's being guided there, if that makes sense. Possibly even led there. That might be a better way of putting it. She's being led there. Which would that would be interesting, I would think. Let's see. If she's being like, so it would almost be like someone's like telling her to do it almost, you know? That would be mean. I feel like that would be, so not quite deception though. Let's see. It's wifey, her secret. Let's see, photos. I want photos. Yeah. Give me just a second to pull this up. I'm going to pull this up. Here we go. Is that the right one? Yes. Yes, it is. Hey! Mazel tov. I actually did something without screwing everything up. Stay. Alright. Move this over here. Yeah, I need to be able to see that. Alright, here we go. So, what have we got? Roll the drums. Rune mukbang. I could make some rune cookies and eat those. I could, but I probably won't. Go well. Do you think your mom would use her? Thinking her mom tells a delusional tale. You know, Amber's got to get it from somewhere. It's kind of my point of view on that one. I don't think people are born in a vacuum, and habits aren't born in a vacuum. Basically, I'm saying you're going to fuck your kids up, so decide on how you're going to do that, because it's going to affect them for the rest of their lives. And you can't help it. You're going to do something. No, sadly, her mom has never been a mom, and that's part of Amber's problem, honestly. All right, so... Ooh, all right, so we've got radio here, which is the journey. That's its definition. But it's also talking about planning for a journey, and a well-planned journey can be... It's actually talking about how a badly planned journey can be stressful, thereby saying basically plan your journey so that it's not bad. But it is also talking about long roads and the physical act of moving. And it's connected to Jira here, which is the rune of harvest. And it's usually, it on the calendar, it falls around New Year's, around the turn of the calendar year. That's not the beginning of the runic year. But Jira is a harvest what you sow kind of a thing. So it means what you're going to get is what you've put into it. And so we have that here with this rune, and it's talking about how, a poorly planned journey can be very bad for you, but a well-planned journey can go very well. So that's kind of what we're saying. It seems to be saying here is depending on how that's happened is how it's going to turn out, which I guess is kind of like kind of a duh moment, but it wouldn't have popped up if it wasn't worth mentioning, which means knowing Amber, this has not been well planned and it will not turn out well. And that's the third time I've asked a very similar question and gotten a very similar answer about this move. I don't think her move is going to go well. For some reason, I'm not entirely sure of just yet. We've got this rune here. This is Issa. Issa is ice, and it's usually seen as like a rune of winter and a rune of standstill because of the ice aspect. But the runic verse itself is talking about basically deception, because it says a floor of frost is beautiful to behold, but it's still frost, it's still ice, it glimmers like diamonds, but it's not. So it's very much an illusions kind of a thing. And so with the way that this is all pointing here, I'm wondering if Amber's not under an illusion that she's under some kind of illusion, and that's not going to work out for her, because the whole point of being warned about it being an illusion is the fact that it's not what it seems. And typically it doesn't turn out well. So there's something that she's being bamboozled about, or she's bamboozling herself about, and it's going to affect the outcome of her move. So let's see what else we got here. I still want to work on this little bit here. I want to think on this one a little bit more, because we do have Zwalu here, and Amber gets this rune, and this rune. Amber gets every time I do a reading, which, I mean, there's only 24 runes. Yeah. So obviously there's going to be some repeats. I just think it's very interesting that it's these two specifically that she gets, and they're never in relation to each other. So there's that. So, all right, over here we've got, this is Berkana. Berkana is birch trees. And interestingly, somebody asked me in the comments section, they were like, what kind of birch tree? Because birch seeds were used to represent small leaves. And I was like, wait, so the seeds of a birch tree look like leaves? And they were like, yes, correct. So that kind of explains the verse, because the verse says the birch tree has no seeds, but yet still manages to bloom. So I'm just guessing maybe they thought the seeds were leaves and just didn't realize that they were looking at seeds. But either way, it doesn't change the verse. So the reality of the situation does not change the purpose of the verse. So this to me is very much an inner strength kind of a rune. It's very much you're using what's inside of you to project outward. It's your self-power. You stand up in your mighty roar and you draw the attention of the people around you. And then this one is, again, very much like Thurazaz. This one is, this is Elk's Edge, and it's painful. It burns the blood of any who grasps it. And I have no idea, but there's some weird noise coming from outside. Anyway, so this in conjunction with this is a warning about very painful, lingering situations. A lot of people, for whatever reason, you see this as a rune of protection, and I'm not entirely sure why. There's nothing in the verse that mentions protection. So we've got this rune that's talking about ouchy situations. We've got this rune that's talking about inner power. They're aligned, but they're not really facing each other. So I'm wondering if there's not some kind of, and this is on the outer side. So this is the outer world coming in. So there's something painful here. I want to think about how this is related, though. Let me catch up with the questions here. Anyway, yeah, I try not to project too much of what I know about Amber onto these, but it's kind of hard not to sometimes. Ansu's is a rune of divine messaging. It's also a rune of creativity, as particularly through the spoken or the written word. It is the divine breath that is not necessarily the breath of life, but it's the breath of intellect. My cat is desperate to go into the office, and the office door is closed, and it's driving him absolutely bonkers. All right, here's the other one I was looking for. This is Nathus. Nathus is a rune of it's directly translates to need, but this one's more of a warning. This one's more telling you something bad is going to happen if you don't listen to the warning. So Nathus always has the situation around Nathus always begins with a warning that you have the choice of either acknowledging or ignoring to your own detriment. All right. Now it is surrounded by runes that are blocking it, which can say that it's a little unknown, but it is open here. And you'll notice that the two runes it's open to are the two runes that she constantly gets. I hope you guys are enjoying this. You get to see my thinking process. I cut some of this stuff out. This one here is Eowaz. I always screw that one up. Anyway, this one represents the yew tree. And can you just put him in your office, please? Thank you. This one represents the pillar upon which a structure is built. It can also represent you literally putting down, not necessarily roots, but you building a foundation in a group or your home. Okay, this is building your foundations not on sand but on stable ground, kind of a thing. We've got Ing here. Ing always, to me, represents blazing your own trail, going forward, going out before everything else. So it can also mean like with the Fool card, where you're just stepping blindly into the abyss with no preparation whatsoever, just trusting that everything else is going to follow after you. It can also be, you know the way, so you are the one blazing the trail ahead and everything else is going to come after you because it can now, you know, like you've opened that up for it. So there's that. Gabo is a rune of gifting, the give and the take. It can mean like, I give you a gift, you give me a gift. We've now established that relationship between ourselves, because you wouldn't give a present to a random stranger, hypothetically, but you would exchange it with somebody who you want to build a relationship with. It can also mean manipulation through gifting. So like, I've given you a gift that you now have to repay at some point, and I get to dictate what that repayment is. Yeah, I know, the cat. Sorry. I mean, I love him to death, but sometimes he's just annoying. Let's see. I'm just reading your guys' comments real quick. She does love the illusion of the life she's built. I do wonder how much of her fake world she's aware is just her wishful thinking, and how much of her world is she really is delusional about it. Yeah, the best thing to do is just leave the damn door open, but then he's just super annoying. Let's see. I do not do personal readings. I haven't really tried much. This is about as personal of a reading as I've done. Let's see. Yeah, the Fool can be a leap of faith, usually. I'm not a tarot person, so when I compare these two tarot cards, I'm very loosely comparing them to tarot cards as my very basic understanding of them. So, yeah, cats do the knocking off the bookshelf thing. All right, so Uruz here is usually a rune of health. It can also be a rune of badassery, is how I like to see it. It's the Oruk. The Oruk is a now extinct type of cattle. They were known for being incredibly aggressive, very mean, and having super long horns that they would get stuck on things. So, on top of being super aggressive and shit, they were very clumsy apparently. So, as you do, they're also extinct. There's a really fun story that I'm not going to go into. Maybe I will some other time. But a certain group of people from World War II wanted to prove that they were super duper badasses. So they tried to genetically manipulate the Oruks back into existence by breeding super hyper aggressive cows together and managed to get a very aggressive cow out of the deal, but wasn't what they were looking for. But you know, that kind of crap happens when you go off half cocked. But okay, so we've got like a triangle going on here. Now that I'm really looking, see, part of this is you're looking at patterns. You're trying to see what's lined up with what, what's grouped up with what. We've got a bit of a triangle going on here. So that's kind of interesting actually, because it's kind of like a two-way path. It's like you've got this warning. It's gonna have, she's gonna know what it is. It's going to be evident. And it's like if you ignore it, you know, it's gonna go one way. If you don't ignore it, it's going to go another way. And I'm inclined to go this direction because of Zwalu. Zwalu is the rune of the sun. It literally translates to sun. And it's talking about the first time sailors see the sun after a choppy boat ride, basically. But, you know, back when they would go out on their boats and they would sail across the oceans, because Vikings were known, the Norse and the Vikings were known for being excellent seamen. And they, you know, the whole concept of like light at the end of the tunnel. It's the light at the end of the tunnel rune. So it's that kind of a thing. But it's also connected with this. It's a victory rune. It's connected with the roots and the setting down a foundation. And it's also connected with the Oruk, which most of the time when I see this, I usually translate this as being part of her health. But there's nothing else to indicate that is what it might be. Except for this. But I'd want to see something else there before I made that call, really. So, but if this is the positive outcome, then this is the negative outcome, assuming. So we could be going on with the concept of this being arrogance, and it's also on the outer realm as opposed to the inner realm. See how close this is to Amber, though? Like the arrow right now is where Amber is. This is interesting, though. Especially coupled with this one. They're not directly related, but, you know, we've got this story of, like, something's going to go wrong during the move. I'm pretty confident saying that at this point. And then we've got this, which is talking about trouble and the home with this, pointing towards the center. You know, sometimes you can just translate this directly to be an arrow. And it's almost like Amber's going to cause this problem. It's like, there's going to be a problem, and it's Amber. Thing. Sometimes it's that blatant. We've got creativity over here on its own. It's kind of on the outer ring. We've got the gifting basically on the outer ring. There's a little bit of a connection here, but I don't know how strong necessarily that is. We could make a connection here. I don't know how good I feel about that connection. Hungry Amber. Look, they're called seamen, okay? They go out to the sea and they're men. What do you want from me? The gifting thing is interesting because Amber's always talking about how much of a gifting person she is. That's her love language, is buying things for people. She buys things, and she buys people. So when I see this pop up for Amber, I always take it to be a very toxic thing, but it's not really connected to anything else. So I think that's kind of interesting. It's just kind of hovering out here. Same thing with the Ansus here. I'm going to do something I don't do too much of. I'm going to flip these over. Yeah, that's what I thought. It doesn't mean crap. Anyway, it was worth a shot. So we've got this creativity floating around over here. It's going out, and maybe that's what's happening. Maybe her ability to like craft a story is leaving, because it's pointing towards the outer ring. It's basically on the edge, or it's pretty damn close to the edge. So maybe this is an example of this particular energy is leaving her sphere of influence. And it could be like, we're coming back to this concept of this illusion that she's under. It could be that like she's been crafting this idea, this perfect idea, like she does. We know she does that. So maybe her reality is going to crash in on her, I guess is where I'm trying to go with that. So yes, calligraphy fairy. Yes, you nailed that one. Someday I'm going to put together a really nice cloth for this, but that day is far in the future. We've got this health thing going on here. We've got this going on over here. This could be that she's trying to do so much on her own, and it's causing a problem, or it's going to cause a problem, or it is a problem. Like she's eschewing any kind of actual outer aid to the point where it's actually causing pain. And it could be any kind of pain. It doesn't necessarily have to be physical pain. It just has to be some kind of problem that lingers. It's not like the Haglas where it's a sudden boom and then the ice melts. This is something that like you get stung. Like y'all have been stung by a bee. You get stung by the bee, and even after the bee's gone, like it still hurts for days sometimes, depending on how allergic you are. It's that kind of a thing. But this whole concept of like her inner power or her inner self, or she's just like trying to be self-reliant, and maybe that's it. Maybe being self-reliant for her is very painful because she just doesn't demonstrate a person who's capable of being self-reliant. And that could be what we're doing over here. This could be self-reliance. This could be like trying to step into your own individuality, strength. You're trying to step into your own strength here. And I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe this is a two-prong attack kind of a thing. Like if you heed this warning, you're going to be able to step into your own inner strength. That's going to allow you to start to have a strong base, or at least to become maybe a pillar of strength for someone else. Same thing here. You listen to this, you're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So whatever this is, whatever darkness, whatever tunnel this is that you're going through, if you heed it, you're going to come out on the other end okay. And again, you're going to be tied into here with this strength of pillar, because this dude is also connected here and here. So yeah, this can very much be love bombing. I just happened to see that. We've got this guy, and then we've got you. So it could be something to the extreme, something like you've got this dark tunnel. If you listen to the needs that you have, it's going to lead you out of the tunnel and into a brighter situation that could lead, again, to individuality. This could be Amber maturing. I know we all just groaned and rolled our eyes there, but hear me out. We do have some bad vibes coming here directly to the center. Got this guy leading to here. This is definitely connected to this. It could very well be connected to this too. But either way, we've still got two runes that are basically leading to a victory rune. That then leads over here to a rune of basically individuality. and trailblazing. She gets this a lot, actually, this one here. She gets that guy a lot, too. And I like to think it's because Amber thinks she's so damn special, because this is a rune of being special. This is a leader. This is a hero. This is someone people look up to, this rune right here. So this isn't just like Joe Schmo has a map and a compass and he just happens to be walking to the northern direction. This is a guy who's like, follow me, I know the way, and like leads the charge. And everyone's like, wow, he knows what he's doing, and they all go follow him. That's what that rune is. And I always take it to mean like that's part of Amber's fantasy world. She thinks she's that kind of a leader. So can you have dangling diabetes? Diabetes? She's kind of falling apart. Shelley Daly does have a point. Justine makes a very good point there. About certain individuals who think that they happen to be very controlling, and they think they're the exact opposite. Nobody wants to be the bad guy, you know? We all joke about being villains, but... I'm so sorry. Ooh, that snuck up on me. Alright, so what have we got here? I'm still trying to figure this one out. No, I think I got that one figured out. Yeah, I think this is a yearning for independence. I think this is she's figured out that she's not as independent as she thinks she is. And it's not sitting well with her. Because it breaks her reality. These two here, I'm kind of... I want them to be connected. And maybe that's it. Maybe she's just lost her creativity when it comes to gift giving. You know? I don't know. This one couldn't be more clear. That's definitely part of this. This isn't it. I want to know what this is going to turn out to be. I want to know what this is. What are these issues? What? It keeps telling me this shit, and I never think to ask it. Get in my hand. What? What are these moving issues? What is the problem? What is this problem? Ooh. Oh. Well, mostly it's bad planning. For the most part. Yeah. Yep. Ooh. I know I'm sitting here making all these noises. Sorry. No, don't go there. Anyway, whatever. I don't know how much of this you guys can see. This here is finances. This is Fihu, and again, Jira. Reaping what you sow, but the finances are leaving. This is Dagaz, which is a day. It's the renewal. It's also an ending. It can be a new day, but it can also be ending. This is bad planning, which leads to it's not even bad planning. It's just things that could have been avoided, but because they weren't avoided, they're leading to catastrophe. This is it can be considered a lot box. Sometimes I usually translate it as being like a peer group, but it does have that other meaning of being like the randomness of birth and the unknown part of being born, you know, kind of a thing. So it's new beginnings basically again. Well, thank you, Susan. I really appreciate that. I don't know how much of this you can really see. Anyway, this is Lagos, this is Paroth. This is bad planning. This is a catastrophe that's leading into something. It's still playing coy. It's still playing coy. What are you? Yeah, this is illusions. That popped up last time. It was actually sometimes it's clarifying. All right, we've got this little grouping. I'm sorry, this is so crappy, but it's got this little grouping. This is Parath, which literally not Parath. This is Wunjo, which literally means joy. It has no real other meaning, but it's right next to Thurazaz, which is the rune of pain, basically. And then we've got again the uninspired, the Ansus, but it's leading into Manas. This is people. This is the people around you immediately, and then we've got, is that Gabo or Nathus? Probably should fix that. No, that's Gabo. Again, we've got the gifting thing, and it's like way the fuck over here. Like I said, she always gets this one. Oh, she doesn't have Zwalu here this time. We're lacking a victory rune. That's not good. We've got this concept of home just kind of floating in the center of this. So it seems to be very influenced by probably strength and health. Concepts of giving. I'm guessing this is her receiving at this point because it's so far on the outer ring here. She's hoping for or receiving something. And it could be she's expecting reciprocity. Yeah, from things that she's given in the past. So she's expecting someone to give back. And it's someone, it is a person, and it's a person who's already part of her social group, her social structure. And with that Othla there, it's somebody traditional, somebody from the home, somebody that she is traditionally connected to, and she's expecting a positive outcome from that, or a positive she's expecting something positive from that, and I don't think that's what it's going to turn out to be. Fiu is connected with Jira here, and Fiu has a couple different meanings. It does mean money. It directly means cattle, but that's because cattle was a form of wealth. So I guess more directly it means wealth. But what part of the verse of Fiu is, if you want to look good in the eyes of the gods, then you have to give freely. You have to give to charity, basically. But it implies that a righteous person would give to charity because that's the good thing, the good and right thing to do. But it can also be someone's basically trying to buy the stairway to heaven by giving to charity. So it's an empty giving kind of a thing. I see you guys talking, trying to catch up. Yeah, Shelley Daly's kind of nailing this one. I think now, watch, we're going to say she's going to move home with her mom, and then she's going to not go anywhere near her mother. What if it's her dad? Catastrophe's not bad when it's not you. Fair. Yeah, Susan, if you didn't hear me say it before, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Wait, what? Visual snow? Hang on. We got to come back to that one in a minute. The Odinist connection and isn't that the college kids? Anyway, don't distract me like that. Scroll down. Yeah, I don't personally, as a person, I don't want her moving in with her mom because of her mom and just the recovering nature of her mother getting over the addiction. I don't think Amber will be helpful to her on her personal journey. And I mean, let's face it, at this point, as much as Amber needs a mom, her mom's not her mom. Her mom is her own person at this point, and I think her mother's own personal recovery is slightly more important than Amber. So, I don't know. Bye, Susan. Thank you. It was good having you. And anybody else who bailed? Who's bailing? Who's bailing on me? I have been talking a minute. All right, anyway, let's get to this last little grouping here. This is, we'll see. This is Nathus again. Again, we were talking about this is the need. You will be warned about it. It's going over here to Kinaz. Kinaz is a rune of knowledge. We don't care that one moved. enlightenment. It can also mean passing your knowledge on. And then we've got Two Eyes here. We got Two Eyes here who's like just as far off into the corner as it can be, but it is kind of pointing at the outer ring. So maybe it's telling me to pay attention to the outer ring. Yeah, so we've got that does put a neat little spin on it. Basically, it means that this outside realm, this outside world, the world outside of Amber's perspective is the problem. And it's not that it's the problem. Amber's just so out of touch is basically what it's kind of saying here. Amber's got this inner world where she thinks she's got a hold on everything, where she thinks she's got everything under control. And really, she doesn't. She doesn't have a peer group she can rely on. She doesn't have people she can rely on. Something is coming to an end. And it could, that could really just be her time at the apartment's coming to an end. It doesn't necessarily mean a catastrophe. It just means like something's ending. It could even be talking about like her time with Jade, though I don't feel like it is. I don't feel like that's what's happening there at all. But there's definitely like, let's see, we're following this around. We've got this concept of individuality here, just kind of hanging out by itself. Then we come over here and we've got the gifting and Uruz, which could be health. It could also be her personal view of her own strength. We've got Manaz, which represents the people immediately around her. It can also mean people leaving your life, like in the extreme way, but more likely in the just like, bye, see you, gotta go. And then it's the fact that it's all, that Othla is in the center of all of this, means that this is all directly influencing Othla. So these people that she's trying to rely on are not going to be there when she needs them. And I do think she's expecting them to be there because she has gifted them things before. And she does think that she's got that level of influence that she doesn't need to worry about it. So she's expecting a positive outcome, but it's not going to end up that way. And with Ansu's reversed like that, I don't typically do too much with reversals, but it's reversed. It's pointing towards Manaz. I think she's losing, like, I want to say creativity, but that's just the base of it. This guy right here, it's more like uninspired. It could be that people are starting to see through the bullshit. That could be what it is. Like, she no longer has that glib tongue that she's relied on for so long. She's losing that. The Fiu and the Jira thing, if we take that, because I don't think she's as hard up for money as people think she is, but that's my personal opinion. I could be completely wrong. But I think more what this is saying is she's been giving, she's been doing the charity part of the empty giving, the I'm giving stuff away so that I look good, not necessarily because I know it's good. And I think that's going to come back. I think people are seeing through it and it's going to come back and bite her in the ass because that's what she's going to reap the benefits of. Also, she does it online. Like, you don't even have to look hard to see it. So, yeah. So that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing there. And that was a clarification of, where's my mouse? That was a clarification of this. Click on it. There we go. Of this going on here and whatever the hell this is. I mean, she's unprepared, obviously, but I think the outside world, the real world, is going to be more of a barrier and more of a challenge than she's prepared for. But she's disillusioned herself. She's in this I have words. Anyway, she thinks she's better off than she is. She thinks she personally is more of an individual, of like a whole person than she actually is. So, oh hey, compassionate citizen. Yay! Hello, welcome in. When are you starting your channel? So between these two, we've got that something bad's going to happen during the move. I think it's going to come down to, and I've seen this happen in her readings before, where she's reliant on people who are not going to be reliable. So there's that. So I do think the people that she's, maybe it's the movers. It could be. I doubt it, but it could be something like that. Maybe they're going to lose her shit. Maybe they're going to rip her off. That could play in with the financial stuff too, but that would be an interesting twist. I think it's going to be something closer to home. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be her mom. It could be anybody, but it's somebody who's already in her circle. So it's not somebody new. It's not new ex-boo or ex-new boo. It could be, I mean, it could be your brothers. It could be your dad. We were just asking about the mom, so more than likely it is the mother, just because that was the topic of the question. So. Ooh. Compassionate Citizens working on some videos, y'all. We'll be watching those. We will be critiquing them. We will watch them live right here. Anyway. All right. I think I've rambled enough. Does anybody have any, now that I'm actually going to pay attention to the chat, does anybody have any clarifying questions that I can help with before I sign off here? I know I've had everybody on here for a while. Oh my god. Is it really been? Holy crap, have I really been talking for 2.5 hours? Jeez Louise. I would freaking love to see Amber try to reach out to Becky for help. I want to be the fly on the wall when that happens. So the health thing is still on a downward spiral. I personally think it is. I think there's been enough indicators. Every time the Haglass pops up, I think that it's going to be something health related. Just because it's so sudden, and it's usually, I mean, I know she didn't get the rune this time, but the last couple of times I've done the readings, it's usually in the same reading as Nathu's, which to me is something, you know, it's a need that's sudden, but it's something that's been ignored. Excuse me, kind of a thing. Sorry, what are we doing? Tony Blue Dancer. Yeah, that's right. Tony. Pugs are fine. We can do pugs. Pugs are people, the world needs pugs. Who's Charla? Who did I miss? We need a side character named Charla. That's a fabulous name. She might get sick on the drive, on the move. I just don't see that going well for her. And I honestly think that's more than her stuff. I think she's going to be herself the problem during the move, especially since she's basically moving to one side of the country or the other. Ooh, she should come to Philly. Boy, that'd be culture shock right there, man. She'll never recover from that shit. Gotcha. I think Mermaid Princess is kind of hitting it on the head. And then more people, other people have said the exact same thing in the chat, that she's expecting her mom to be a mom. And I just don't think that's going to happen. That ship's done sailed, which, you know, we have a lot of ship references here. So, do you know how many people I know named Tony around here? It is not a joke. I think I have at least 2 neighbors named Tony. Yeah, I do. And I know a guy named Tony just randomly. And then I know another guy named Tony from New York. God, I hope she doesn't live it out of a hotel. I lived out of hotels. They're not fun. That's not fun. It's fun for like the first couple days, and then it's just not fun anymore. I want to take a picture of this before I put it up. I like to record my stuff. Let's see. Give me a second. Be right there. Boop. Did that work? Yeah. All right, we're good. I just like to have records of these things. Too many Tonys. Oh, and then there's Tony's Pizza. That's right down the road from me, which I assume is owned by someone named Tony. Or Anthony. I do wonder, do you guys remember crap? The two sisters whose names I can't, Tammy Slatton, the Slatons. Do you remember when Tammy was being an absolute butt monkey and they were like, we can't take care of her anymore, and so they were talking about making her a ward of the state? I have wondered a few times, especially since Becky broke up with her, not wifey, if that's not eventually where Amber's going to end up, kind of as a ward of the state or on disability. That's the other thing. Why isn't Amber on disability? She clearly qualifies without having all of the mental problems that she claims she has. She physically qualifies for disability. I don't understand why she's not on it. I don't know. I pay my bills. I don't know what's happening, but I love it. She earns too much? That might be it. Okay. Well, there was that one lady on 600 Pound Life who was on disability, but she also basically made, well, feeder videos for a living, I guess. My bills are paid. She says she's got a tax guy. She says she's got a tax guy. I kind of believe her. I kind of wish I had a tax guy. That's going to be interesting this year. Well, next year. That's a next year problem. Okay, so disability, she does have to have. She does. Well, I mean, I guess she does technically have a job. So, all right, yeah. Do you guys think she's actually on OnlyFans? I think it would have been found by now if she was on OnlyFans. People are good at being detectives in this community. I don't think she would have gotten away with it if she hadn't. Do I have shadows? Oh, this making me look like I actually have cheeks. Look at that. Oh, I love these glasses. Yeah, channels don't last forever. The views are down. I just hope she has savings in the mix and that kind of stuff. But all right, y'all. It is 10 here. I don't know what time it is where y'all are, but that has been 2.5 hours of me yammering. So I'm going to sign off. She is a bit. How is she prudish? She's always walking around with these stupid hickeys. I do remember her doing the joke OF once, or at least joking about having it once. But anyway, yes, I'm going to go. What are you reading, Tequila and Donuts? I'm reading something called The Cracked Altar St. Andrews. Like, that's the title. Cracked Altar - St. Andrews. It's a horror novel. Haven't gotten very far in it. But anyway. Am I a Tiny Blue Dasher? I am Tiny Blue Dasher. I will eventually have more videos up on that channel. So, I am the Tiny Blue Dasher. But anyway. All right. For realsies, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to go pet my cats and get ready for bed. And Gone Girl. Well, let me know how it is. And I will see all of you in the next video, which will be Jordan. Hopefully I'll get that edited tomorrow-ish. Hopefully. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Maybe. How do I do this again? Which one do I push?